another analogy that we use to teach patients about exercise and activity dosage. We probably all had those patients that tell us that after a day of cleaning the house or running errands all day, that they have to spend the next 1 or 2 days in bed. Or even worse, the patient is calling the front office to cancel today's PT appointment because after last session, they felt like they had to spend a couple of days in bed because it made them too sore. We really want to try to change the patient's cycle of doing a lot and then feeling like the answer to that is lying in bed. Especially because that has an impact on how they view exercise and their response to pain. But even just as important as that, we want to demonstrate to these patients that we understand that this is a cycle and that it happens. And that as physical therapists, we are the experts in dosing exercise. And that at 360 specifically, we are listening to what they're telling us and how they're responding to their physical therapy and are prepared to adjust the dosage to based on their response to help them progress versus go backwards. So we use this metaphor of growing grass to explain of how to exercise appropriately. So think about growing grass in our desert environment. We have plenty of sun, we need seed and water. What do you think might happen if I throw down seed in a dirt lot in my front yard and then I flood the yard with water? Does the seed wash away? Yep. Am I left with a big muddy mess in my front yard that my dog would just love to roll around in? You're probably right. So what happens is that flood takes me a step back of what I was trying to do, which is grow that grass, and I have to start all over. Have you ever noticed that after doing a lot of activity, cleaning the house or running errands, that you feel like you have to spend a couple days resting to make up for that? It's really common. It's because you're flooding your system. You're overloading really the nervous system, which is our system responsible for our pain. So how do you think I should water my grass or water my yard if I'm trying to grow grass? Short bouts, multiple times a day. That way, it gets a little bit of water, a little bit of sun, and it can grow up and be a strong, full yard of grass, and it could withstand a flood or our monsoon storms. That same thing applies in terms of how we're going to help you exercise. We want to do a little bit frequently throughout the day. Now, if you haven't exercised recently or regularly, you may notice because of that, your PT sessions, you're going to be doing a little bit less reps, or you may take more rest breaks. But with the goal that over time, you're going to build up that strength and endurance and a tolerance to activity to allow you to do the things you want to do. But keep in mind, there are those days where after PT, you might feel sore and you may feel a little discouraged, but I really encourage you, those are the days I want you in here during physical therapy. That will help me problem solve what went on to push you over your limit and cause you to feel like you needed to rest in bed. And without you here, I can't do that. So remember, on a day that you may be feeling more pain or more sore, for whatever reason, those are the days that we want you in physical therapy. I always try to drive home that point on the first day, that last point that I made in the initial evaluation, that one of their worst days is probably the most important times for them to come to physical therapy, because we all know that's the most likely day that they're going to cancel. But I really think it's okay for us to see those patients on a bad day. And again, because I believe in our profession and our ability to adjust our exercise dosage accordingly to help that patient on that day. And if you can help a patient on their bad day, they're gonna keep coming back. I hope this was helpful.